Welcome to Mindful Musings, where you're invited to join in mindful reflections that encourage and deepen connections with self and others. Help build a culture of caring, create a life of purpose, and face challenging transitions in an atmosphere of unity. Today, we are using the Virtues Reflection cards with permission from virtuesmatter.com. A live link is provided in the description box below this video for information on purchasing the downloadable phone app and/or a physical deck of cards. How would you like to do the pick today?
The direction piles.
Okay.
And already I'm feeling pulled to the east. That's where you are. You're east of me.
Okay. So I will take the eastern pile then.
And then let's do that again. Just do the directions again, because I'm feeling pulled to the south.
Okay, so if you'd like to know the top cards on each direction.
Oh.
The north is acceptance, the east is courtesy, the south is sacrifice, and west is hope. That's just interesting.
Yeah, beautiful right there.
Okay, so I will try again to do 4. So we've got north, east, south, and west. And you said you were feeling south?
South, yeah, south.
Okay, so we have kindness in the north, awe in the east, wonder in the south, and courtesy is now over in the west. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards.
Number 4, please.
From the top or the bottom?
From the top.
Okay. So the 4th card from the top in the south is mindfulness.
Beautiful.
Mindfulness is living reflectively with conscious awareness of our actions, words, and thoughts. Awake to the world around us, we fully experience our senses. We are attentive to others' needs. We refuse to rush. Living mindfully lightens our lives by helping us to detach from our emotions. We transform anger to justice. We seek joy instead of mere desire. We cultivate our inner vision, aware of life's lessons as they unfold. Mindfulness brings us serenity. From the Tao Te Ching, can you cleanse your inner vision until you see nothing but the light? Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? The practice of mindfulness. I seek always to be awake and aware. I am considerate of the needs of others. I keep a pace of grace. I do not allow emotions and impulses to rule me. I cultivate my spiritual awareness with daily reflection. I am a lifelong learner. I'm thankful for the gift of mindfulness. It keeps me present.
How is that speaking to you today, Lynda?
Oh, wow. Well, I must say, it's interesting how at different ages and stages, different virtues seem to be more in the frame. I'm more mindful of certain ones. And mindfulness certainly seems to be one at this age and stage. Now, I'm much more consciously aware of my actions, words, and thoughts, and I'm living more reflectively in a different way. I used to reflect a lot, but it was kind of this endless loop of obsessive thinking about certain things that weren't the way they should be according to the rules of Lynda. So it's different kind of reflecting now. It's being able to just kind of look back and see the lessons in things and see things from a much more detached perspective. Um, yeah, detached from the strong emotional pulls that I used to have when I was younger. Um, I love this transforming anger to justice and seeking joy instead of mere desire. That is so true. You know, so quick to anger when I was younger. Um, and, you know, the response to that was not necessarily angry outbursts. Actually, often it was shutting down um, and numbing self, you know, so I would say it wasn't a healthy detachment from my emotions. It was just a, what is it, that fight, fright, freeze, faint response um, to fear. So yeah, and seeking joy instead of mere desire, to really recognize how many of the things and dreams that we chase after, that I chased after in my youth, and that's part of life when we're young. Um, you know, were mere desire. They really were not sources of true joy that is sustaining and sustainable. So, and being aware, cultivating our inner vision so that we're aware of life's lessons as they unfold in the moments, you know, within the day or within the week, instead of, you know, gunny sacking them for 20 years and then finally looking inside and looking when they've really gone stinky and rotten to look at. So, yeah, mindfulness, I can attest to the truth in the statement that mindfulness brings us serenity. It certainly does to me. So, yeah, I'm grateful to be at this age and stage and in a position where I am able to practice mindfulness um, more responsibly, more consistently. And I am definitely a lifelong learner. So that's me in mindfulness today.
Oh, Lynda, what a joy. Serious. Oh, I'm hearing your perceptiveness to be able to scan the trajectory of your life back and forth and reflect upon it, but not get hung up in it. You know, there's just such a peace in that I'm hearing. And I love that you talked about your response to fear, and the pull of that, the fight flight response. So not only your perceptiveness about what's happening out across the trajectory of your life, but the perceptiveness of what's happening internally. Difference, you know, to be able to reflect on where you were, you know, 30 years ago compared to where you are now. And knowing you, I have such faith in the process of getting clear, I guess, and acknowledging what's really going on with us. Like, it's just amazing. So I see you also really responding ably, and also perceiving the difference in how you used to respond. and the conditions that created or nurtured that response compared to the conditions that are nurturing the response you're having now. So it's beautiful.
Thank you, Barbara.
Very mindful perceptiveness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And how about you? How is mindfulness speaking to you today?
It's really speaking volumes to me today. First of all, I love the image. It's taken from the shadows of a forest, and it's looking at the light shining in and dappling the forest floor. It's very beautiful. And it just, visually, the light and shadow of our life is a little elusive. We don't necessarily know when we're in the light or when we're in the shadow if we're not aware of what is happening around us. And so this feels like a real confirmation to me. I feel like I have lived in a mindful way. I walk in a mindful way. My relationships and my dealings, and it's also a calling today because I um, I I feel the need to step into this more fully and really unpack some relationship um, issues with a particular issue that I'm having. And what really jumped at me is we transform anger to justice. We seek joy instead of mere desire. Cultivate the inner vision, aware of life's lessons as they unfold. So like you, those jumped at me, and it's not about, you're right, it's not about harboring the grief. It's not about denying it. It's about leaning in, recognizing where the shadows and where the light is, looking at what is anger, what is justice, what is your right to act. There's just so much to consider here, and so it gives me pause, which a forest always does. So the wisdom is amazing. And then the quote on the back, can you cleanse your inner vision? So that's the clarity of mind. That's the stillness of thought. It's detachment of the things that, along the trajectory of our lives, the things that hook us and challenge our detachment, keep us embroiled in things where, taking a lighter stance would be a much more joyful way. Yeah. Can you step back from your own mind and thus understand all things? Well, I feel like I can. I've had a steady practice of a detachment kind of meditation since 1980. So I've really developed this capacity to just in a second, like it used to take me time to get into it, but now it's just like as soon as I am ready and state the intention, it's done. So it allows me to stay neutral and let those thoughts just wander. Let those thoughts come and go. Let those thoughts, and I know they're not mine. That neutral part of me, the witness, I know they're not, well, they are mine, but they're not necessarily mine, because I can step back and observe. And then there's the wisdom, the whole thought process that is different than that monkey mind chatter that I just let go of when I'm in meditation. And then there's, so I love this. I love it. We didn't set an intention for today, but for me in my own life, what I need at this particular moment in my life is to remember, the qualities of my thought and where that is. So I'm grateful for the gift of mindfulness to keep me present. Yeah, I've spoken.
Oh, and I've definitely heard. I'm just so delighted to hear your enthusiasm for mindfulness today, your gratitude that it has come up to be a reminder of, yeah, that's what I'm needing right at the moment. And also to acknowledge your self-discipline, to have a meditative practice, and to be aware, the awareness that you have, the appreciation you have, the discernment about the monkey mind thoughts, and they're not really something that you have to own and hold on to for dear life. And so that by having that regular meditative practice, it brings you back to that place of being able to detach from all those monkey mind thoughts that really don't have to be held on to bring yourself that peace of mind, that clarity, that cleansing of your energies internally.
Mm-hmm.
Also, your appreciation of the beauty of the picture and the forest, and that acknowledgement of the importance of the shadow and the light. That the beauty is in embracing the shadow and the light. That they're both necessary
Yeah.
to, and how the light dances in the shadow or the shadows dance in the light. It's how they dance together. So
Yes.
I really feel that when you were sharing about the woods
Mm.
and how its effect on you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining us in Mindful Musings today. We always welcome courteous and respectful feedback in the comments section below. And if you enjoyed spending time with us, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in joining us online, click the link to visit our site, synergyetc.ca.